Let me show this booth, and I'm going to show it with the spackling on, and then next time I give you a tour up here of the addition, I'll have it all sanded out. So here's the breakfast booth. Several months ago I showed when I just had this framed, and now I got the paneling and the wood on there, and I just wanted to show you all the spackling, show you what it looks like before it gets sanded down. This is the spackling paste I'm using. It takes a while to dry. You don't want to sand it till it's dry, and you can tell when it's ready to sand by when it's hard. Right now it's just kind of soft and pasty. I had put one coat on the other day, but then it shrunk because these gaps are a little bit big, and so I just put that other second coat on the bigger gaps. So then the reason I put this spackling everywhere is because when I take and I sand this down with my belt sander, it's going to even all this edge out right here. It's going to look like that was one piece. This is the belt sander right down here. Okay, we'll take that belt sander and I'll sand everywhere. And then, like right here, where this piece is proud of this piece, and when I say proud, I mean this piece sticks over the other piece. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be flush, which means they're both together. But such as carpentry, okay? Now, I'm the one that framed this, and so it's my own fault if everything's not completely 100%. But it always looks better on paper than it comes out in real life. You just have to know how to roll with the punches, okay? And if I didn't show you this right now, once I got it all sanded down, you'd probably look at it and think, wow, that came out perfect. Like, that's so easy. But I'm showing you behind the scenes and how much work is involved in doing something like this. Now, this gap right back here, that's not a problem. I'm just not going to fill that with spackling, because I'll come back later and I'll fill that with caulking. Okay. So anyway, I had a little, what I did right here, see the electrical, because originally this area was going to be a desk, and it had the light right there, right centered over it and everything, and the light switch. But then my wife said, no, that needs to be a breakfast nook. And so, like I explained in my other video, I tore the desk out and I built the breakfast nook. And I'm glad I did, because her idea was way better. It'd take me way longer and it's way more money, but it's going to be a much better area for eating. The hole there, that's the cold air return. Okay. So, I'm not going to say this was easy, because you have to know a lot of little tricks and everything, especially if you're going on framing. That's not quite 100% exacto. Like on something like this with all these little pieces when you're framing it, and it, you cut your framing plates off, and then the little 45s don't end up like they should. It's okay. I've gone through and I've rectified everything, but something like this, it's basic and straightforward. It should have been easy. Maybe on the next one, if I do another one, it'll be easy, but this took me like 3 days of work right here, just only this, okay? And as I was explaining on the electrical, I'm not going to move the electrical, because I have a wire coming up from the bottom, and then I have 2 wires going out from the top. So if I would have just tried to move the box up, well, that means that the wire coming out of the bottom is now too short. So I'm not going to rework all my electrical, so I just did this. I just made a plate, out of the same MDF as this trim, and then I will mount my cover plates right there and it'll be fine. Okay, so let me show you a profile of this little trim piece I made. I just made it on my table saw. I'm not going to say you can't buy these. Maybe you can. I don't know. I just don't know where to buy them. So I just made it on the table saw. Okay. So this little groove right here, that takes the bead panel. Okay. And then when it sits up on the wall, it sits like that. Okay. So if you're going to do it this way, just remember, round this off round it off first with your router, because if you try to do it later, you're not going to have an edge to round off and your router is going to chew into it. And I just did this with the trim router. I don't have a router table up here, so that's how I did this. So spackling paste, it's going to make it look wonderful. It'll be painted. What color should I paint this? Put it in the comments. Doesn't mean I'll paint it that color. I'll have to run it by the boss and see what color she decides, but your input might be taken into consideration. So let me know in the comments what color you would paint this if this was yours. And next time I show this, I'll show it all sanded. Thank you.